Hey, Web3 curious friends. Today's special episode was shot live in Austin, Texas at Consensus. Shout out to Laos who sponsored this roadshow as part of a media partnership. Today's episode is jam-packed with content from their side event where we heard from the team, developers, and attendees at this amazing event. On today's show, you'll learn why the co-founder of Laos and four of the team members went all in on building the universal layer 1 for digital assets across all blockchains. And find out why developers are excited to be building on top of Laos Network and participating at their Hacker House. Finally, get to hear from some community members about their experience with Laos and the event they attended. It's time to cue the intro.
Welcome to The Edge of NFT, the podcast that brings you the top 1% of Web3 today and what will stand the test of time. We explore the nuts and bolts of the business side and also the human element of how Web3 is changing the way we interact with the things we love. This podcast is for the dreamers, disruptors, and doers who are pumped about this ecosystem and driving where it goes next.
Hey everybody, Richard Carthon here with the Edge of NFT, and we are live here in Consensus at the Laos Network amazing side event that is focused on RWAs and a ton of other amazing things. I have none other than Alan, who was previously on our show at NFT NYC, and now we are doing more and amazing content together. Of course, you learned about all the amazing things happening over at Laos, but as a refresher, I want to bring you on to continue to tell people about all the amazing things that you guys have going on. So first, tell us a little bit about what's the purpose of tonight?
Yeah. Tonight, the purpose is to really bring the community of Consensus, particularly the builders, like the people who are going to be building the great apps we need in Web3. Try to bring them all into one room, get some networking flowing, get some drinks, get some games. We have some fun games to play. And the good thing about tonight is that every point you score in one of the games, whether it's basketball or mini golf or Jenga or whatever, each point is converted into an asset minted on Laos directly on Ethereum. So those are assets on Ethereum without spending any ETH. So it's kind of like having a lot of fun, doing a bit of networking, and also showcasing what Laos can do as well.
Which is absolutely incredible. And I remember all of the things that y'all have building out this week, and you're telling me about this stuff, and I get to see it in real time. And so as a refresher for those who are listening, tell us a little bit about Laos, what you're ultimately going for, and of course how that's all incorporating into what's happening tonight.
Yeah. So around about 20% of transactions on Ethereum and other EVM chains like, Polygon and Arbitrum and so on are actually mints, right? So whether it's tokenizing of real-world assets, whether it's creating in-game tradable items, or whether it's collectibles for NFTs, right? 20% of the transactions on Ethereum is that tokenization, that minting. And what Laos does is offloads all of that tokenization costs onto Laos. So you do pay gas, you pay with Laos token, but it's considerably cheaper than doing it natively on Ethereum. And the best thing is that the actual assets are 100% native Ethereum assets. They can be imported into your MetaMask. You can sell them on OpenSea. Everything, as a user, you don't see anything different. But as a builder, you save a ton of money on gas fees, and you also avoid the problem with congestion, which is a big problem with Ethereum and various other layer 2s as well.
So it's super important, the congestion piece, especially when you start going out and doing real life use cases like this. If congestion starts happening, then it makes for a lousy experience. So I'm excited to be here, see this in real time, showcase some of what's happening in real time, and how all of this should flow seamlessly. So of course you have your team here, you have people coming tonight. What's your expectation for tonight and just being a part of Consensus? I mean, you got your cowboy hat on.
Yeah, I'm in Texas. I got my cowboy hat, yeah. When in Texas, do the Texans. I'm really excited. Where the event is horrendously oversubscribed, which is wonderful, which is great. Tremendously oversubscribed. So hopefully you'll have a good turnout. And I'm really excited just to get some networking going and see people doing it at the end. Hopefully we'll tot up the amount of ETH that we saved in minting for all the assets we mint. So that'll be a fun little stat to see at the end of the result.
Oh, definitely. And I'm sure it's going to be a lot. Well, Alan, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to keep learning about Laos and all the things that you're building. And, excited to be, dude, your hat and, just being part of this energy is so electrifying. Hopefully everyone that's listening to this and when you watch this later, you want to come to future events that Laos puts on, because tonight's going to be a banger. So, Alan, thanks for having us, man.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Of course. What's up, everybody? Richard here from Edge of NFT, and I got Tony here with me. He is the CTO over at Laos, and obviously a lot of amazing things happen tonight, and people are excited to learn more about the network. But can you kind of explain, how does it really work, right? How does Laos Network work at a technical level?
All right, yeah. So it works. So remember, the whole mission about Laos is that we want to offload transactions that people want to use Ethereum or Polygon or all these major networks. They want to use it heavily and they are congesting it, and it's very expensive, and as soon as you try to do some number of transactions, the network is congested and it runs down, right? So we offload all those transactions to Laos. At the technical level, maybe you want to compare us to, or you could compare us to layer 2s over Ethereum, or that their mission is to scale Ethereum precisely this way. But unlike them, what we do is we don't resort to bridges. This means that there's a number of benefits for that. It means that, first of all, users don't need to bridge their currencies. They don't need to understand what a wrapped currency is or what a wrapped coin is. They don't need to migrate to another place, like a layer 2 is eventually another place. And they don't need to use heavily insecure patterns like bridges. Bridges are really insecure. Most of the bridges, even in the major layer 2s on Ethereum, are really insecure. There are websites that track all the security holes that they still have. Unlike that, if you use Laos to offload all your transactions, you're not using any bridge. You're using something that comes from Polkadot called universal location, which is basically a way to refer from a consensus system to things that live on a different consensus system. It's been in use within Polkadot for years already, and now we are extrapolating that to join consensus systems that don't live in Polkadot. So basically Ethereum, Polygon, referring to Polkadot's parachains like ours. By doing that, the most important thing is users don't need to even understand that there is Laos involved. From their point of view, they're just receiving, let's say, NFTs, in case you want to offload NFT mint. They're just receiving NFTs in their standard wallets on Ethereum, on Polygon. They just trade them with ETH, with Matic, with the standard currencies that they are used to. They don't even need to go to this UX hassle of bridging coins and wrapping and all that stuff. And at the same time, because we don't have any bridge involved, we don't have security holes. The entire security of our system joined with Ethereum, for example, is the lesser of Ethereum and Polkadot. And this is huge. I mean, the security is...
Oh, it's massive. So a few things, just so how I took in all that information, is that you basically taken a massive problem that's in Web3 that's anywhere from 5 to 10 steps and made it one step, and you've made it very cost effective.
So cost is one of the big things, of course, if you want to mint on Ethereum. But the second one is just the use case. I mean, even if you had millions to spend on mints on Ethereum, you wouldn't be able to do 100,000 in one day. With Laos, from day one, you can do millions per day on Ethereum. And this allows you to build different use cases. It's not just about the cost, right? I mean, you want to tokenize every song in a catalog, your Universal Music, and you want to tokenize those songs, you can. You want to give away 10 NFTs to every player that just downloads your free-to-play game, you can do it right away. So it's about building use cases where scarcity is not the main thing. And this was not possible before. It goes beyond cost.
Absolutely, man. So it's a beautiful thing when you're almost like a layer 0, but almost like this thing that's on top of it that's blending everything beautifully together. And I guess cost effectiveness, fast, and the ability to scale up. My understanding as well is as people want to potentially do more, Laos will allow you to scale up faster.
Correct. Actually, so right now, Laos already scales. I mean, the transactions that Laos can process is already larger than the transactions of all layer 2s on Ethereum together.
Wow.
From day one. But over the year, and this is one of our main motivations also, over the next year, we're going to scale way farther because we're going to become the first parachain in Polkadot that we ourselves are going to have sharding.
Okay.
Like ETH 2.0 is promising all that stuff. And it's not that we are inventing it, it's just we're borrowing a lot of technology that is already available on Polkadot and putting it together in a proper way to scale an extra factor of more or less 80 to 100 from what we have today. So yeah, we want to put all this throughput available to Ethereum, Polygon, and all those nets.
That's incredible. It takes a whole lot of brain power to figure that out. And of course, someone that has won an Oscar, it only makes sense. So I got to drop in that gem. Tell us about how did you win that?
Yeah, so we received very recently, on February actually, I was in LA, receiving an Oscar for, it's called like the scientific Oscar, it's Oscars to scientific and technological achievements. So after 12 years of us having brought to the cinema industry something it's called 3D audio. Originally it was 3D audio, we had a startup. It was basically conquering the market. It was going very well. And Dolby Laboratories acquired us in 2012 and integrated part of what we had done into what's called these days Dolby Atmos. Dolby Atmos has conquered the world. It's amazing. It has reached, under estimations by Dolby itself, almost 1 billion people all around the world. It's so beautiful. So we started that in 2008 in a research center, then a startup, etc., and eventually become so widely used. We're so proud. I mean, it's worked by a lot of people, and eventually it's been recognized by the Oscars Academy to, so.
Huge recognition goes to the brain power of all the amazing things Laos is building. So all those technical people out there, obviously you want to work with the Oscar winner and just all the awesome things that they have going on. So come join the amazing team that's behind Laos and be part of this community and keep making it even better.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, Tony.
Pleasure.
All right, Richard Carthon here with the Edge of NFT, and next I got Nacho with me with the Laos Network team, part of community building and doing a lot of awesome stuff to keep the network growing even further. So tell me a little bit about, what are some of the current things that you have in place to keep letting the world know about all the things that Laos has going on and ways to keep having the community be more engaged?
So there is actually a lot of stuff going on. The main focus for the past month was planning this side event and Consensus here in Austin. We're very looking forward to that, but at the same level, we were also working on a lot of other exercises, such as seeing how to engage in communities and in regions of the world that we're not so present. Right now, we have a big presence in Asia and Africa and Europe, and that was due to doing some activities with these Questboard apps such as Zili, Galaxy, and all that stuff. And now we're looking for KOLs to kind of enter the Latin market, and as well as other markets in Europe and Southeastern Asia. What we started doing like not a long time ago to build more engagement and to have the community kind of interact more with each other is we started doing AMAs. We are in a few communities. Shout out to BGA, Blockchain Game Alliance. They help us a lot. We are doing a lot of AMAs with other companies within the BGA. So we have weekly AMAs. We invite some people over. We have like some friendly chats about different topics in the gaming and Web3 space. And that is bringing a lot of attention. Last week we had one with over 1,000 viewers. So that was pretty solid. And also it's a good reason to go and push, hey community, we're doing all this stuff, like hear our voices, see our faces. It's very important that they see that there's humans working on the project, especially in Web3. So that's kind of our main focus right now, to show that there's real people after the project, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And doing things like this, putting on this event, being here present at Consensus and getting out and about in a physical way, but also just with what you're doing with the AMAs and everything else, letting people know that there's someone at the end of that and receiving it, and having something like this where people can now come and really show their face, enjoy these things. Tell us about when you're putting this together and thinking about how do we create an event that not only rewards people for being part of our community, but shows our actual product and how it's being used. How did you kind of organize and put that together for what people can expect tonight?
Yeah, so the first thing when we do these type of activities is ask ourselves, who do we want to join this event, or who do we want to attract? Who are we looking for to come to the community? So depending on at some point, we started with bringing community over, like holders, and now we're aiming to attract a lot of builders. So we are creating these events around how to build a successful Web3 game, for example, or how to add real utility to a game to incentivize players and not just investors or gamblers, as we saw on the past bull run. So once we decide who are we talking to, we build the full AMA or activity around, okay, what we're going to talk about that is going to raise the interest of this type of people. So we kind of do that as a core, and then we move on from that. As you said, we are going to go target or ask for Web3 game to join if we want to invite Web3 builders, game builders to come to this AMA or whatever. So
right. Yeah. No, it's a good way of organizing it, and even tonight, as we talk about games, there's different games that people are going to be able to play and use that in real time. So as people are starting to work with and utilize Laos, what's been the community response? Like, how have you seen some of the different interactions, like the AMAs, get people to come and interact more with the Laos community?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's not easy to keep the community active. At the end, there's a lot of communities out there, and everyone chooses where to go and where to spend their time in, and they're going to spend their time wherever there's a lot more stuff, like where there's stuff happening. We've been working in a lot of things at the same time. When we invest time in this AMA stuff, we want to make sure that it's constant and that it happens weekly, so that they see, like, they know that, okay, next week, what do they have for me? Consistency is something very important in here, because if you stop right now, this week, we're not going to host an AMA because we're here in Austin organizing this like crazy event. But on the other side, we're here, like, we're going to get a lot of content like with you guys, which is going to be shared with the community after. So they are going to appreciate this next week and after, as they see that we're actually doing stuff and creating content and really investing our time on providing actual value.
Absolutely. The consistency is key, and also continuing to show up in new ways and keep inviting different community members with new ways to be involved that are exciting. Tonight is exciting. This event's exciting. For all those who are listening and couldn't be a part of this, how can they connect with Laos and learn more and become part of this amazing community?
Yeah, so the best way to connect with us is to join our Discord, join our Twitter, it's @Laos Network, and also join our Telegram, @Laos Network as well. That's where we're most active. And again, we're creating these events, even though you didn't manage to come here, we're creating these events to attract and also to connect with other builders, to add more utility and add projects to the network, which at the end, long term is gonna like build more trust to the entire ecosystem and the entire network. So by joining our network and showing your support, that's already like good enough help to also spread the word and help bring more people in.
Absolutely. Well, Nacho, great talking to you. Everyone watching, make sure you come and join this amazing Laos community.
Thank you.
Hey everybody, Richard with Edge of NFT here, and I'm now here with Gerard, who's head of product, working on a lot of amazing things. And the first one I want to talk about is the chain itself. So tell us a little bit about what you've been building with this chain and how it's been evolving.
Yes, sure. So we started back in November of 2023 when we launched our testnet. And on that, we have been able to start experimenting, start showcasing the people that actually the technology is already there, and you can already do everything that we will discuss probably later on. And then about a month ago, we finally got our slot within the Polkadot ecosystem that will be unlocking on the 3rd of July. And 1 week after that, we will be doing our TGE event. So 11th of July, we will be going live in mainnet.
Super exciting. A lot of work that goes into getting to this point, which then brings us to our then token after the TGE. So tell us about the token. What's the utility of it? Like, how does it go back into the Laos network?
Yeah. So basically, Laos token is a native token of the Laos network, as it's such. It has mainly, the utility is mainly to use the EVM transactions that you would with any regular chain. You can also stake and use it for governance. On top of that, we have the breedless minting transactions that are specific from Laos that allows you to mint assets in any other chain while paying with the transaction in Laos with the Laos token. And this is one of the main differentiation factors that we have with this token.
Which is really cool, man. And I just spoke with quite a few different people on the team. Tony was kind of breaking down like the technical piece of like how it all works together, how it all seamlessly pieces together. But, you know, some of the things that people initially go to is like, okay, well, walk us through some of those use cases. Like, what are the different use cases that this could be applied?
Yeah, definitely. So the first use case that comes to mind, maybe it's just collectibles, NFT collectibles. And definitely, Laos can do that. But I think that it can do many more things apart from that. You can extract it to gaming. So for just having less gas fees that you would in any other way, but even having different use cases that are not possible as of now because of the throughput limitations that you have on the ecosystems and so on and so forth. And apart from that, there are even use cases that we're not even aware before, such as real-world assets, for instance, emitting invoices on chain or other types of different types of assets that you want to have tokenized. This can be possible now with a fraction of a cost and a throughput that was not available before for those chains.
For sure. Like one of the things that I think came up that I immediately went to didn't think of, which is so useful, is like a music catalog. Being able to take that real world asset, get an entire thing from like a universal or whatnot from all these different places, be able to bring that to blockchain very quickly and do it cheaply. Because right now, if you were to try to do that on Ethereum, it would be so expensive and so slow.
Exactly. So as of now, I believe that as a developer, you can do many things, but you always have to compromise between the liquidity that the chain has. Usually the higher liquidity, the more mature the ecosystem, usually the lower the number of TPSs that you can do, and having a high throughput system with lower liquidity, right? I believe that with Laos, you can have the best of both worlds, and this is what we are trying to convey here, that people can say, okay, yes, I can have the high throughput that Laos allows me to have. I can have the low minting fees that I have on Laos, while having the higher liquidity that I can have on Ethereum, Arbitrum, Polygon, or some of those other chains. And my users doesn't need to know that even Laos exists, right?
Right. It's all seamlessly happening in the background. And getting back to the real world use cases, we're here in real world. We're at this amazing event Laos is putting on, and we're going to get to see that tonight. So walk us through like what people are going to be able to do tonight and how y'all were able to put this together so that people can see how the actual product works.
Exactly. So what we wanted to showcase is that actually this is not just something that we say, but that we can actually show it, right? So in today's event, there are many different mini games, and people will be earning points. The nice thing is that for each point, an actual asset will be minted on Ethereum for that user. So at the end of the night, probably you will have hundreds of assets minted on Ethereum for you. And we will have also a leaderboard where we could see all the potential ETH that has been saved using Laos instead of minting natively there. So I think it's a nice way to showcase that this is not something that will be possible in the future, something that's already possible right now.
Exactly. That's really exciting. I'm excited to see it tonight. Gerard, pleasure speaking with you. Look forward to all the things that Laos has coming out.
Same here. Pleasure.
Thank you. What's up, everybody? Richard from Edge of NFT here. We are at the Laos Network event, and I have Steffi with me, who works on all kinds of amazing things, but especially around community. The reason that we are here today for this event, Steffi helped to organize all of this. So, Steffi, give us just a taste and a preview of what's happening tonight. What are you looking forward to? And we'll just start there.
Okay, great. Thank you, Richard. And well, here we are in our side event here in Austin, Texas. And we are very happy to host this side event with Elixir and Polkadot Play. And the idea is to get together with the community in real life, not just online. And yeah, so people can have a good time and enjoy and play some games. And they can also get points, so they are going to get assets and then, I don't know, some prizes and that stuff. So we are very happy for this to be here today.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here too. I'm excited for the games, just to participate and to see it happen in real time. Just the fact that all of the different fees are going to be super cheap, to be able to see how it happens in real time. Because I've gone to some other events where networks have tried to display, and the latency becomes a problem. Things kind of go with some pitches, but from my understanding of like how all this is tested, it should be pretty seamless and pretty smooth. So I'm really excited to see that. For your community, that not only is going to be here, of course they're virtual. Obviously, they're not going to be able to see this in real time, but what are some different ways that they are able to continue to participate? I was speaking, learned about a lot of your different AMAs, and you also have several other things that you do virtually for these types of cool experiences. But how can your community continue to be a part of the things?
Yes, so we are trying also to build our community online, so people can join Twitter, Discord. Those are the main platforms, also Telegram. And yeah, we are trying to host AMAs, different spaces where we can get to know what the community thinks, what they want, and try to give them what they want. The idea with this event, it's we try to gamify the process, so people can play the games, win assets, and just see how easy it's using Laos just to mint assets all the time and in an easy way, and playing games. So they are going to be able to see that what we are saying it's real, and they don't have to be on a computer. No, they can play games. They will see how we do it, and that's it. So it's very easy. So I think it's a good way of showing the world what we are doing.
I think so too. And like you said, we're in Austin, Texas. We're at Consensus. There's a lot of events that you could have chosen to do this at. Why here? Why Consensus?
Well, I think because it's one of the main events, for the communities that we want. So yeah, I don't know. We were thinking about others, but I think what we were planning, we had a lot of things going on, with the auction and all that stuff. So we decided, okay, let's go for one of the main events that we really want, and let's just go for all in Austin. So we are very happy to be here.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to be here with you. Of course, people can follow you and do all the different things with Laos Network, but what is the alpha on community stuff that people can be doing right now to potentially be able to participate in stuff like this in the future?
Like to come to our events, okay, just follow us and be updated. Like, we don't know if we are going to do more side events. We hope yes in the future, like this year or whatever, but yeah, just stay tuned. As Nacho says, stay tuned, and we will let people know how to participate in the events that we will be hosting.
Okay, well, perfect. Well, Steffi, glad you could be part of this. I'm excited for it tonight, and look forward to experiencing this.
Thank you very much, Richard.
All right.
And now for a quick word from our sponsor before we dive into the next segment. Are you ready to take your sports predictions to the next level? Look no further than maincard.io, the fantasy management platform that's taking the blockchain world by storm. With Maincard, every card is a ticket to excitement. You can predict sport outcomes, trade cards in the marketplace, and challenge opponents in thrilling weekly duels. And don't wait. Head to maincard.io now and start earning rewards with your NFTs, because it pays to be early. And now back to today's episode.
All right. What's up, everybody? Richard from Edge of NFT here at the Laos Network event, and I have the pleasure of speaking with Zach, who is one of the many developers who are building here on Laos Network. And Zach, I know that you have a hacker house going on out here right now. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we're hosting an on-chain gaming hacker house, and so we're just building a whole bunch of games because we think games are a really good way to onboard people into Web3. And you know, if you're building a game, the first thing to do if you're considering an NFT is to look into Laos.
After everything I've learned today, Laos is doing things in a revolutionizing way that is helping steps to be shrunken to less and to be way more cost effective. And so with building games on that, like, how is that translating over into that side of things?
So whenever it comes to building games, the Web2 audience was really excited about NFTs. They wanted their assets from one game to be transferable to a different game, to a different game, to a different game. And that's really not what NFTs turned out to be. And so the reason why I kind of appreciate what Laos Network is trying to do is not only can you bridge these NFTs to almost any network, but these NFTs can represent in-game utility, and they can be applied to a whole bunch of different games. I wish I had a lot of the better terminology, but it's just the thought of the game that we're building could be applied to almost the NFTs within our game, could be applied to almost every other game within the house. And that's something that grabs people. We have a game development studio that's staying at our house, or the founder of a game development studio, only Web2 dev, and he just kind of was there to help us, to encourage us, build games, and make sure that our games made sense. And he's actually here at this event just because he read through Laos's documentation, and it was exactly what game developers are looking for.
That's exciting, man. That interoperability piece is definitely something that gravitates a lot of people who are building and just users to opportunities like Laos. But the fact that you're bringing in Web2 builders and they're seeing what's happening, they're like, I want to be a part of this. I want to learn more and be a part of the hacker house. That is really incredible. And I know that you have a lot of various hackers that are here with you. What's that experience been like to be in the house and building right now?
So building in the house is honestly really fun. I've hosted a lot of different hackathons and a lot of different hacker houses. I mainly focus on more recruiting and managing the teams to make sure that they can deliver the best products within the amount of time given. And for the house itself, it's amazing. Today we ran into a problem in one side of the house. It was one of our teams that was tokenizing some assets, and we didn't know whether to extend the metadata or not, and we just grabbed the entire rest of the hacker house and we all brainstormed together, and it went from 4 people brainstorming to 20 people brainstorming all together, and it's just that amazing community vibe. We love it.
That's incredible, man. Amazing problem solving skills, and I guess the real question I want to conclude here with is why Laos? Obviously there's a lot of different places you could go. What gravitated you towards it, and what's making you stay?
So there's a lot of things that, in my opinion, are gravitating me towards Laos. First of all, their documentation is to say it easily, and we were able to read through their examples and deploy our own NFT within a matter of 10 minutes. And that's something that almost no blockchain can say, that they're so easy to use that it takes just a small period of time to actually to utilize it and deploy something on mainnet and have it tradable and have it physical. So that was one of the aspects. Another aspect was Tony himself, he pitched Laos Network in a really amazing way to where game developers like myself could understand. And you could really see the utility and you could see the reason why they built Laos the way that they built it. Because it is exactly what game developers wanted in 2017 whenever NFTs were started being issued and were trendy. So they really listened to the broader audience and implemented what exactly everyone's been asking for. But for this specific hackathon, we're building our game in EVM, and a lot of the sponsors aren't very EVM focused. So we're using Laos to mint our NFT on on Polkadot, and then bridge it to EVM chains. And that's something that's almost insane. And from a developer standpoint, we're saving so much time just by using Laos for this hackathon, because we don't have to bridge that asset. We don't have to mint that asset. We're just using Laos for all of those things. It's really cool.
That's really awesome, man. And obviously you can hear the passion from your response and everything with it. And I agree, just how simple they've been able to make everything. And obviously documentation helps a lot because you can have clear steps by steps how you can keep moving. But then of course, being in the community like a hacker house where you can share ideas, think through concepts and build things faster is always a really cool opportunity. So I appreciate you spending some time with us talking about your experience. And
thank you for having me, man. It's been amazing.
Exactly. Hey everybody, Richard here from Edge of NFT, and we're here at the Laos Network event, and we are talking to another developer who is doing amazing things on the Laos Network. We have Teja. Pleasure to meet you. Glad you could be out here. How's your experience been with the Hacker House so far?
Hey guys, so far the flight was terribly bad, but once I landed in the house, I slept peacefully, and then the morning I woke up, I started to code. It was an amazing experience. The hacker was. I started building on like Laos as well.
That's great. Well, sorry that your flight in was a little rough, but glad you're able to wake up and get after it. So of course now we're here at the Laos Network event downtown Austin, and how's it been with getting to meet some of the various people from all over and just being a part of the various games and everything else going on?
Oh, it was amazing. I'm myself a big gamer. I do play a lot of outdoor games, but playing these games was challenging, and I love to play them. The last team and the Elixir games was greeting the welcome as well, our group as well to play. They even motivated us to get some drinks and play or win prizes as well. So it was so good. I'm in the leaderboard as well.
Yeah. Oh, cool, man. Well, you're here at the event. You're going to do the Hacker House, and you can be building on any type of network, but you're choosing to build on Laos. Why did you choose to start building on Laos?
That's a good question. The only reason and the important reason for building on Laos is the bridgeless minting of the NFTs. Let's say I want to mint an NFT anywhere. I couldn't do it, but on Laos I could definitely do it and pay the gas fees using any token.
Yeah,
that's the main reason.
No, that's great.
And that's the only reason I'm bullish on Laos as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. So for all those who are listening, for the many developers who are considering coming over to Laos, of course, the cheap and /free being able to mint. What are some of the other reasons why someone would choose to decide to come and build?
The developers are so welcoming. So if you get any problem or if you get stuck with any code, the team is out there to help you. They're gonna do one-on-one calls at any time you want. That's one thing the developer team is helping, and the documentation is pretty good as well.
That's awesome. Hey, well, definitely appreciate your time. Thank you for sharing it with us, and look forward to help you enjoy the rest of your time here.
Thanks, Richard. See you around.
All right, pleasure. Hey everybody, Richard from Edge of NFT here, and I'm with another developer here on Laos Network. We have Subayel. I want to start with just asking, I know you're here for the Hacker House and a lot of different things going on. How's your experience been so far?
So far, it's been amazing. Obviously, when there's so many intelligent minds under one roof, great things happen. Right. So that's what's happening right now. Is this the first day, and there's 2 more days to go. So I'm pretty hyped up about what we're building out.
It's excellent, man. Well, we're here in Austin, Texas. We have this event going on at with Laos Network and a lot of different various games and just a cool environment. What's the experience around this particular event been so far?
So this event has a lot of people from different perspectives. So it's good that I actually came out of the hacker house for a bit. So right now we came here with the team and we started to mingle around with different people with different backgrounds, and it just removes you out of your shell so you can think from different perspectives. So I'm really grateful for that. I got to meet some very bright minds here, so appreciate that.
That's great. Like Laos brings together a lot of people from all over the world, different perspectives and brilliant ways of thinking. And
that's someone with, I just met someone with in the healthcare space.
Wow.
And someone in shared mobility.
Yeah.
So it's really good to like exchange these ideas, and everybody's trying to build something, on Laos Network. So it's a good opportunity to learn like what's the capabilities of it.
Oh, definitely. And I guess as we wrap up here, man, just why Laos, right? There's a lot of places you could be building. Like, why are you choosing to build on top of Laos Network? And for developers out there that are listening, why would they be encouraged to want to come and be part of this?
Well, so far, the support that we're getting from Laos Network is amazing. And that's the best thing. For every developer, if there's support out there, we can keep progressing forward. And so far, the mentors that we found here, they're top notch. So I would highly recommend building with Laos.
Excellent. Well, really appreciate your time today, and I'm glad you could be a part of this, man.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Hey everybody, Richard Carthon here with Edge of NFT. I'm at the Laos event, and I'm talking to another developer, Tejas, who is building on the Laos network. Tell me a little about your experience and how's the Hacker House been going?
It's been pretty good. This is actually my first Web3 hackathon that I'm attending. So I have experience with software engineering, and I'm kind of new to blockchain. So I've been researching on different blockchains, and so the game that we are building, it's an Ethereum-based game. It's based on Micropolis, which is like a pretty famous game. So we're building an on-chain version of it. So the problem at hand is like, so the idea that we have come up for the hackathon is like capturing a particular game state and then minting it to an NFT, so that we get a good, one player could actually sell that NFT to other players, and the other players can access that instance of the game and continue playing.
That's awesome. In a pretty hard, challenging thing to overcome. So how's that experience been so far?
I think the Laos, we were exploring different options and we came across Laos Network, and I think it's a pretty good solution to our problem. It offers a good environment to develop on, and yeah.
That's great. And of course, now we're here at the events that is showcasing some different games and how Laos Networks is being used in real time. How's your experience been here so far?
It's been pretty good, getting to meet a lot of like-minded people, getting to learn about what they're building on and about their experiences.
Awesome. And final question, for those who are thinking about potentially coming and building on Laos, why would you encourage them to do so?
I would say it's the flexibility that Laos offers in integrating different languages, like different blockchains. So you could be working on Ethereum and you could easily create NFTs using Laos.
Perfect. Well, really appreciate your time and thanks for coming out.
Thank you so much.
A quick word from our sponsors who's ready to navigate the cutting edge of tomorrow's legal landscape. Because at Zuber Lawler, they're not just attorneys, they're visionaries. With expertise in emerging technologies like AI, blockchain, and the metaverse, they're paving the way for you to seize the future. For mergers and acquisitions to IP, their selective team delivers strategic solutions tailored to the ever-changing world of technology. Join us at Zuber Lawler, where the future meets the law at zuberlawler.com. Back to the episode.
Hey everybody, Richard with Edge of NFT here, and I'm here with Louisa, who is a proud community member of Laos Network. I'm glad you could be here. We're here in Austin, Texas at the Laos Network event. How's your experience been so far?
It's been great. I love seeing all the people. This is like a cool event. There's so many things going on. It's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome, and you know, we got lucky with being able to find a community leader here that obviously just part of the community have been doing a lot for what's been going on. Like, what's been your experience within the Laos Network community so far?
Yeah, I love it. I think it's just starting, but there's a super strong core foundation. There are people defending each other, arguing, discussing latest tech. I think it's a super strong sign of a healthy community.
I think so too. And it's cool that you have such open dialogue and are able to have candid conversations and allow for people to freely express themselves. What do you think has been some of the charm of being part of this community and seeing it grow over the last, several years?
I think it's just very excited to be still at the early stage of a major technology push. You feel like you're part of a secret thing, and you feel like you really have a chance to kind of give feedback and I want to do this, I want to do that. I think that's a part of the community, which is like you want to be proactively part of it and see the difference it make, which I feel like a lot of feedback was taken into considerations. So it's just excited to see it grow and like grow along with it as well.
Definitely. And, obviously you can be part of any community that you want to be, but you choose to be part of Laos. What is it about Laos that has really resonated with you and made you want to continue to be part of the community and help it grow?
I think it's the mission, and it's also around like the technology part. We are looking for kind of constant solutions about how to build games in a more Web3 way, but doesn't really offend the Web2 audience. And I feel like what's being promised in Laos is extremely promising. So I'm just excited to just like get it going and try to apply using it.
Yeah, that's great. And being able to be part of that strong community and a lot of things going on, obviously every once in a while you get rewarded by doing these IRL events, right? And so with coming to this, obviously they have some different like games going on.
That's right.
Like basketball and golf and a bunch of other stuff. What's been your favorite game that you played out here?
The basketball one. It was really hard, apparently, but I'm gonna try it again. Hopefully, score a higher point.
Yeah, you're gonna crush it. And obviously being a part of this and being able to meet a lot of the team in person, like how's it been to be able to meet a lot of the community in person?
Yeah, so I've actually met Alan and Nacho almost across this year. So it's super excited to kind of like see the person behind, because we usually talk on Discord. So I'm like really happy to see them in person. It's just exciting when you can put a face with their name.
Oh, definitely. And of course, being a part of this, there's a lot of things that are still coming with Laos that's continue to make it even better. So for people that are listening and are on the fence of like, why or why not would I want to be part of this community, why would you encourage them to do so?
Because you can make a difference, and the technology is very cool. And if you are thinking about building kind of like a game and you're thinking about adding just a little bit Web3, but you don't want to kind of like, you don't want to offend your Web2 users, like you should check out Laos. I think there's a lot of technology that you can kind of put it into a tech stack, and it's just make life so much easier if you wanted to experiment in that area.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate your time. Thanks for sharing that with us, and hope you enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you very much.
Hey everyone, Richard from Edge of NFT here, and I'm speaking with another amazing person that has come out to the Laos Network event tonight that is really focused on RWAs, and today's event was titled RWAs, and this is now the time that we get to talk a little bit more about it, so I'm sure that attracted you to this. So I just want to get your perspective on like, what are the RWAs that are happening right now, and how have you seen that applied to this event tonight?
I think when everybody talks about crypto growing up and expanding from something beyond what people currently use it for, that's really what RWAs unlock. And right now it's like stuff, putting assets on chain that typically have been hard to transact with in the real world. But I think the vast majority of things, you look at this $100 trillion market, honestly, of things that can be done better on blockchains. And that's really what we should as an industry be striving to do, is move this stuff on chain where we know that we can trade these things easier, we can use it as collateral, we can use it as applications, and that's exciting, like RWA space in general, and the fact that we can now build applications on top of it that make it so that people actually want to tokenize these things. That's exciting.
I agree, man. And Vic, I mean, you chose to come here to Consensus and be part of this. Where'd you come in from?
From Miami.
Awesome, man. So flying in from Miami, and obviously this is day one of Consensus, a lot more to go, but you chose to be here at Laos's event. How's the experience been so far?
It's been awesome. Have always wanted to interact with more people from RWA community and people that are building infrastructure to support it. And I feel that the industry is moving in the right direction to create that so that we can properly support people in the next year who want to tokenize assets. And I think that we're still a ways away as an industry from being able to do that. But stuff like this makes me optimistic that we're going the right direction.
I think so too. There's a lot of builders, there's a lot of people who are looking for collaboration, and obviously you're here as one of those people, so we appreciate you being here. And so I guess as a final thing, like what is something that you're looking forward to while being here for all of this event?
Yeah. The actual market for tokenized assets is really big, right? It's unfathomable and something that people in crypto think that we can just get overnight. I think if there's one thing I would say is like we have to focus on things that are actually better on blockchains. I think those things are things like funds, investment funds, like you see BlackRock doing those things right now. People doing that with real estate. But I think we just need focus, and if we all as an industry focus on things that we know will be accepted on chain, then we'll achieve a lot of success, and that'll get the ball rolling. And that's it. Focus.
Absolutely. Well, definitely a lot of that focus. You're here to bring it. Vic, we appreciate you being here tonight, and look forward to continue to be part of the Laos Network.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
The views and opinions expressed on Edge of NFT reflect solely those views and opinions of the show hosts and its guests. Please make sure to do your own research. Our show is not financial advice. You understand that you are using any and all information available on or through this podcast at your own risk. Whenever making financial decisions, we recommend doing your own research and talking to your accountant for financial advice. From time to time, we may feature sponsored content on the show for which we receive value, and we may share links for which we receive a commission if you make a purchase through one of those links. Refer to our website, www.edgeofnft.com, for our full disclaimer, terms and conditions, and privacy policy.